Now, as you are waiting for your next speaking opportunity, like what are you doing while you're waiting? I think sometimes we as speakers may lose momentum because we're just trying to figure out why am I not getting this opportunity, or we're working on tweaking these websites and things like that. But what are you doing while you're waiting? Because what happens is everything is slow, it's not happening, and then, as it says in the Bible, all of a sudden. And what happens when the all of a sudden occurs? We're not ready. We're not ready. So I am here, your host, Lena Castle, Lunch with Lena. So excited that you have joined me today. Every Thursday, I think next week might be my last week, but every Thursday we're having these conversations about events, speakers, and making sure that you are prepared, you're ready, so that when the opportunity comes, it's not a afterthought or it's not a scramble. So I had a couple of notes here because I was thinking about this. A friend of mine sent me a video to watch, and it was about waiting, and what we should be doing to endure. Sometimes we're waiting on responses, we're waiting on the yeses, we're waiting on someone to sign a contract, whatever that is. And I just want to encourage you that as you are sitting and waiting, that there are a couple of things that we can be doing so we're not stagnant. So when the opportunity does come, because it will come, that you're optimally positioned. Okay. So, um, because I know we're waiting to hear back. You submitted your application. You're waiting for someone to, they're going to introduce you to this person. You're waiting after a great networking conference or a conversation. Um, you're waiting after you've sent your speaker media kit. You're waiting for someone to finally say yes. And because I think the waiting is where most speakers lose that kind of momentum, because it's like when you're not doing the thing that you know that you were built and created for, it can be discouraging. To be honest, it can be so discouraging. I just remember feeling bummed out because I didn't get a call back, or I got the email like, hey, we went with someone else. And I just said, well, I guess I'm just gonna have to create my own stage. I have to create my own opportunities. And some of us, these are stages, creating opportunities to share our message with others. And so I'm Lena Castle, brand strategist for speakers. We're not talking about brands as it relates to your logo and your brand colors. And I continue to say that because that's all I thought about in my first brand. Shout out to my first brand called why you should be the person in position to do X. And it was all women's empowerment. But I was so worried about the colors and how things looked versus the impact, right? And when I say brand, it's like, how does someone experience you? And we were talking about that last week. How does someone even experience you? Because believe it or not, people are experiencing you all the time, whether you are thinking about it or not. So it's not about your logo. It is not about your colors or your credibility or your positioning or your website or your bio, your signature talks, your testimonials. It's not about your speaker reel or your thought leadership. Like, no, we listen. We need to be waiting. So I have an acronym, which is a fun framework. I feel like in order for me to remember things, because I have ADHD, I will just be thinking zoom, 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 zoom. And then what's the next shiny thing? I'm always working on something, and I'm always working on the thing that's current, and I'm always working on what's the next thing coming up. Hey, how you doing? Thanks so much for joining. Yes, Lunch with Lena live. This is what this is. I appreciate the love. Oh, mommy, that's, yeah. Okay, yeah, my mom, she just tried calling me. Now she jumped onto the live. So this is a framework called WAIT. So while you wait, this is a good acronym to um, consider when you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel stressed out. So WAIT, WAIT. W stands for work on your brand. I know I talked about like tweaking of things, but not your logo, not your colors, but your credibility. You know, Like sometimes we don't even remember how many um, degrees we have. Sometimes we don't remember how many things. And I love creating what I call a brag bank. That's really helpful for me to go back to, especially when I'm feeling discouraged. It helps me to remind myself, yeah, I've done that. Oh, yeah, I've showed up in that way. Um, but it helps to start making sure that you are tracking and putting out there what you've done. It doesn't even have to be, um, let's see, it doesn't even have to be uh, degrees and certifications. It could be different stages, different opportunities, mentoring sessions, but creating that brag bank to be something that you can actually utilize um, for yourself. It is up to date when meeting planners or event organizers are coming to your website that they are able to see that. Work on your signature talks, making sure like, is this still the topics I want to talk about? Is this still my passion? So making sure that your brand, you're working on it. So while you're waiting, you are working. Some people need to brush up on a new speaker reel. And just so you know, in the future, very soon, you'll have an opportunity that if you need to create a speaker reel, a lot of times it is not. I'm seeing where speakers are like, I am known for uh, neuropsychology, and all the content is when they're on vacation. It's like, I don't get it. Also, while you're waiting, add value. Add value. You want to be sure that you are continuing to add value to those who are around you. Okay, definitely want to make sure that you're adding value. And this is relationship building. um, Commenting on posts. So if you're following certain people or certain topics and subjects that relate to what you're an expert in, share your expertise. Give it away. I tell you, the more you give away, the more you get back. Okay. um, Share research, share some metrics and numbers about your industry or the trends and the trajectory of where things are going. You'd be surprised who's looking at those who are commenting and engaging. Introduce other people. Like, I tell you, my network is amazing. My people are amazing. I'm so glad that I am totally outside. I've been saying that I am outside. Guys, I feel like I look like, what's her name from Greece? Cause I need a man. Okay, ADHD. I look like my mama, for real, for real. But anyway, introduce other people. I tell you, as you have your network and you've nurtured those relationships, sometimes it's good to introduce other people to other people. And it always comes back. There's someone, oh gosh, Weiss, Weiss. I don't know why her first name is not coming to me right now. I need to look her up because I tell you, she sends people my way all the time, and it's always a good connection. It's always a good um, opportunity to just wanting to figure out how do we continue to stay together and continue to have the conversation. It's amazing what introductions can do for you when you just say, you know what, I'm going to open up my network. Um, I need to make sure I get her name because she's amazing. And then we have writing articles. Some of you guys are writing articles right now. Cheryl Harris is not Weiss. Cheryl, no, I'm sorry. It's Cheryl Weiss. It is Weis. Cheryl Weiss. She is such a connector. I'm so thankful for her. There's so many people that I've engaged with through her connections. While you're waiting, you can write articles, attend events. I think this is the other cool thing. Why not attend the event you want to speak on that stage for? Like, why not say, you know what? I want to speak at this particular, I want to speak at Amazon or at Meta, right? Go to the event. And this is the thing about me, and this is not for everybody. I like to go VIP. Okay. I want to see what VIP experience is like. I want to have the lunches and the brunches with the people and the speakers and having connections and doing all of those things. Um, so yeah, attend events while you're waiting. Um, and this is, I really think that it doesn't take much to say, you know what, I'm going to carve out some time. And you can sit there and learn and you can connect. And if that is your ideal audience anyway, you're going to be in a room full of people that are your people. Why not? Go ahead and just go attend other events. And if you're having an event and you want me to tell people about your event, make sure to drop those in the comments too. Support meeting planners, support speakers. It doesn't, you're not the only one in the world, and there is so much abundance. There is opportunities everywhere. Okay. Become known before you need something. So while you're waiting, become known, right? Before you actually need something, be something for someone else. And the other thing is don't disappear because you're waiting. Oh my gosh, who is this? Shannon, finally. Shannon has been like every time my email goes out, she's like, this needs to be on my calendar. Shannon, you have been on my thoughts, okay, in my heart, to make sure that I know what the topic is ahead of time to schedule these lives. And honestly, the topic a lot of times comes day of. Don't just pray for me, okay? So to get these out there, like to say, hey, join me, whatever. What I'll do is I'll make sure next week I would like to do a series for just 3 days, lunches, 3 days in a row. Like, let's get this impact in. So I will send that in advance. So Shannon, thank you so much for joining. Shannon is amazing. And Shannon, we got your email. Looking forward to supporting your efforts. And you know what that means, financially supporting. So I got your email while you're waiting. So we have W, work on your brand. A is add value. And also, while you wait, invest in yourself. No one else is going to do it for you. Research your industry. I'm so serious. Research your industry. I think that we have become such experts that we just think we know it all. And there's so much more to learn in different, right? Some of us are just waiting around, waiting for the opportunity to come to us. And that's not even how opportunities come. It's when you have continuous conversations and you're being consistent at putting things out into the universe, right? Study your audience, okay? Watch other speakers. I love watching other speakers. I like to see kind of their cadence and how they're doing storytelling and how they drop the mic on certain things that they say. Um, and even when you're a guest speaker, it's always good to have a notebook and you're listening to the speakers before you so that you can mention that when you're going up to the stage to speak. But study your audience, get to know them. Where are they hanging out? In the meanwhile, invest your time, it could be your money, it could be your energy, but it's so necessary that while you're waiting, you're still moving the needle in your speaking business. Because if you have a product or a service, you should be speaking, right? And you have a story and a journey, and there's a way to craft it and package it so that people can see that, oh, I can see how she's articulated her value, and that's a yes for us as an organization. My hair is just going crazy. Anyway, improve your stories. Like I was saying, like improving how you tell your stories. When you're engaging an audience, we just dropped a YouTube episode with Benny Hicks, amazing gentleman, and he pulls stories from everywhere. He doesn't even use PowerPoint presentations. He was a police officer. He's retired. Had a dog named Cash, a canine, and the stories that he tells about his adventures with Cash are just chef's kiss. And he's always looking at the audience and he knows, okay, I need to switch it up a little bit. I need to give more energy or I need to pull it back a little bit. And he's just pulling stories, pulling stories. It's not something that he just crafts. He does it on the spot. And that's when I say that that's when your gift is like the Matrix, when it becomes like you are now Neo. You just get on stage and you just kill it because you're just natural in your abilities. And you can customize more of your keynote. You could read more on your craft or just read in general. But I love learning about how to get better at having certain habits. I love, darn, I probably didn't bring my productivity planner. That's my baby. Okay. Take courses, refine your business, become better while you're waiting. Last but not least, T. W for work on your brand. A, add value. I, invest, okay, in yourself. And then T, tend to relationships. This one is huge. Don't only reach out when you need something. That's a big pet peeve of mine, okay? I will have a conversation and all of that, but hi, Jason. Glenn Powell. Oh, I see his response now, my husband. So what I really, really want you to get out of this is when you're connecting with people, even if you do need something, try to hold that back and see how you can be of service first. It goes a long way. It goes a long way. Don't only reach out when you need something. Okay. And I really will say that for me, every time I'm down or disconnected or frustrated or not having a good day, I figure out how do I serve someone, either it be my husband or a friend. How can I serve them? What can I take off of their plate? Who can I introduce them to? Like, I'm just continually thinking of how do I add value to someone else while I'm going through and not needing anything. Even if I do need something, I'm only going to reach out to the people that I've already been nurturing my relationship with. And you got to do check-ins. Like, when you meet someone virtually, in person, whatever, you have to continually check in. How are they doing? It's good to know when their birthdays are, or their kids' birthdays, or their anniversaries. And my husband knows that I've gotten meticulous with this. Um, Even if they're not my friends and they're my husband's friends, I have it on the calendar when certain people's birthdays are, when certain anniversaries are. And I like to be able to pour in, to just say, hey, just checking in on you. And my friends will tell you if they're joining us live, if it's Crenshaw, if it's Felicia, if it's Candace, um, uh, anybody, and make sure you drop it in the chat. If you've ever gotten a voice note from me directly just to check in on you, please be a witness. Please be a witness, because I do. I will just jump not into the DMs. I will just text, how are you doing? And not just how are you doing, but how are you doing really? How are you doing really? I love these comments. Oh my gosh, I can see them. I like that it's right there. So, okay, tend to relationships, send articles. If you know somebody is interested in something and you, like, say, for instance, somebody's interested in aviation, right? Like, they are, like, that's their thing. Like, you see an aviation article, like how they're changing their technology up, send someone an article. Let them know that you're thinking about them. Inspire them. Celebrate their wins. And you too. Celebrate your wins. Like, celebrate your wins. This is a win for me to be consistent right now, showing up every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's very hard for me, but I'm doing it. Um, and that's a win for me. That's a win. Invite people to coffee. Some people are like, oh, I don't drink coffee. Well, you drink water, you drink tea, right? Invite people to coffee. When Starbucks was first created, the concept of people just being able to go, have a seat, and relax and have a conversation with someone over coffee, that changed the dynamic of how people meet up. It's a safe place and space normally. Um, but yeah, make sure you follow up after conferences. That's also something you could be doing while you're waiting. Maybe you recently went to a conference, even if it's, I would say, in the last quarter, or pushing it is 6 months. But if you made a connection, reach out, see how they're doing. If you've met me in person, you know that if I'm taking your contact information, the first thing I'm going to do is a selfie with you, and I'm going to text you immediately, because I will not do it later. So I'm going to text you immediately, and I'm going to send you that picture so that you can save it to the contact list, so that when I call you, our picture is going to show up. Because some people will be like, who was that person? I don't remember. So for me, what I do is when I go to a conference, an event, or I'm getting to know someone and I really want to follow up with them, really want to, stay connected, I will take a selfie, text them immediately, send them the picture, and then I have that at the top of my text messages so that later on in the evening, or the next day, I can make sure to reach out, send my calendar invite, and so we can further chat. Um, but nurture your network. I try my best. I try my best. I try my best. And because I'm on different platforms, I try my best to recircle around with people on LinkedIn. I circle back around with people on Facebook, not so much on Instagram, but I do try my best that if we've connected, and we had a thing, a vibe, I'm all about a vibe, then I'm reaching out and I'm staying connected and I'm checking in on you, because opportunities usually don't come from strangers. Opportunities don't come from strangers. Not a lot of times. It's someone that you know, someone that knows you. They know what your gift is. They know how amazing you are. They come from trusted relationships. That's where opportunities come from. Okay, the waiting season, like, listen, the waiting season shouldn't be empty. It should be filled with preparation and stewardship. It's where you build your reputation during this time that you're waiting. Okay, so here's some reflective questions. Um, who have you followed up with this week? And I can tell you right now, um, Akia, there's a couple of other people I have connected with and stayed connected with. What have you improved in the last 30 days? If you haven't improved anything, don't worry. This is alive. I can't see you. I'm not judging. Maybe work on one thing for the next 30 days. I need to work on my consistency showing up on social. It doesn't have to be. Sometimes moving in silence is a beautiful thing. I can just DM people. I don't have to be posting. Who have you helped recently? Anyone? If you're only helping yourself, I went to the Chris Brown Usher concert last week in Syracuse. It was a 3.5 hour drive. Um, and the person that was supposed to drive up with me couldn't go. So I had an extra ticket and I didn't have time to kind of sell it. I'm driving 3.5 hours and then I got to get ready and then it's the concert. So what I ended up doing for this Chris Brown Usher concert, I went to go get my makeup done at Ulta at a mall that I've never been to. And this young lady who was doing my makeup was like, um, just what are you doing tonight? And I was like, do you want to go to a concert? She's like, no, but maybe my coworker does. So I gave her coworker a ticket to the Usher Chris Brown concert. Like, who are you giving to? Anyway, if your dream opportunity came tomorrow, would you be ready? And would you be more ready right now than you were last month? That's just for you. I think we've been looking at waiting all wrong, like in a way of like, oh my gosh, I gotta wait. Oh my gosh, it's taking forever for people to get back to me. Or I'm the best in this area. Why aren't people kind of searching me out? If you're not in demand, then you need to demand that you are getting on certain stages. Like you have to be very proactive, because waiting isn't something that's happening to you, but it is something you get used. Like you have to get used to it because while you're waiting, someone else is preparing. While you're sitting and waiting and potentially doing nothing, someone else is preparing, someone else is building relationships, and someone else is becoming the obvious choice. And the question is, will that be you? Yep. And then the last thing I'll say, just to leave you with, I like to write questions down of, thought provoking questions. As a speaker, who do I really serve and serve well? What expensive problem do I solve? Because if you're not solving expensive problems, then trying to be a revenue generating speaker is going to be very difficult. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, if you just want to talk to um, people about, I don't even want to make anything up and put that into my life or in this atmosphere. You should be solving expensive problems. Who pays for that solution? Write that down. What conversations are happening in my industry? You should know the conversations that are happening. And it doesn't even have to be locally to your state, your city, the country. It could be internationally. What's happening in your industry? And then what events already exist around that problem that you solve? Because that's your market research. And what business is my speaking supporting? Okay. So if all this is getting you excited, as it obviously gets me excited, make sure, click on the link in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from today, we are doing a virtual speaker intensive. Shannon's going to be there, really excited. And during that awesome event, it's going to be 3 days because I used to do these intensives in one day and I realized, this was pretty intense. I'm going to have to give them some more time because there's a lot of things that we need to work through in here. I talk to speakers all the time. You have to believe that it's possible to find the right stage that's relevant to you, right? And when I say find, like, yeah, it is up to you to find the right stage. So we're going to be talking through a couple of different things for these 3 days. If you can't make one of the days, there'll be a replay, so don't worry. Make sure to click the link. That is going to be the 3-day speaker intensive called Booked, Paid, and Positioned. And I'm going to look on here because my mind is all everywhere. So, day one, we're covering your brand positioning and market clarity, okay? Because we want to make sure, what is your brand currently communicating? And this is a confidential area where you can just share, what is your brand currently communicating? And if you get a VIP ticket, then we're going to talk about that live in a hot seat. Like, what is it currently communicating? So we need to talk about, how is your brand currently positioned? Let's talk about your market clarity, like the market, who's in the market for this type of opportunity. And then credibility, like let's look at your credibility list, like we talked about today, and your messaging, especially on social. Your bio is one thing, your website, speaking materials, all of that. Like, let's talk through what it should be communicating. And then lastly, which people like to put first, is opportunity readiness. Let's talk about the different stages, the different opportunities. We can actually pull up a live application and walk through, what are they looking for, especially paid opportunities. What are they looking for? And you should be able to fill it out every single time. You can just copy and paste it from your space of, these are the things, this is how I can submit it every single time, because I know what they're looking for. Because you want to be pursuing the right rooms. And are you ready when the opportunity arises? So 3 days, 3 days, there you go. 3 days of intense work as a speaker. As soon as you go ahead and register, you will get a link for your speaker audit. It's going to make sure it's your speaker brand audit, to be specific. And that's going to tell you exactly the gaps where you currently have in your business, either the finance side, if it's your team, or whatever the case may be. You take the audit, and it's like a self-diagnostic check to find out, where am I thriving in my speaking business, and where do I need to get the work? And guess what? I'll get the results, and then we'll talk through that during the intensive. So I'm going to actually go eat lunch. So I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. And thanks for having lunch with me. Take care.